Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, nice to meet you. I'm Oglaboy, and on this channel I break down visual effects from music video, commercial and reels. And recently one of my subscribers reached out and asked me to break down an effect from a music video. I reworked that idea a bit, and today I'm gonna show you how to create this liquid transition effect. And also quick reminder, if there is an effect you want me to break down, feel free to message me. I read these requests regularly and turn them into tutorials like this one. And since this year is coming to an end, I thought it'd be nice to do a small wrap up together. I'd love it if you drop in the comments any music video, commercial or reels that inspired you this year. I'd really enjoy reading through your picks and rewatching them. And also I think this will be a great idea to share my top 10 music videos on my Instagram. So guys, if you are interested, welcome to my Instagram. Alright, I don't want to talk anymore, let's jump into liquid tutorial transition. Alright guys, for this transition we are gonna need two clips. First, let's build the base of the transition. I'm gonna trim that clip like this, and that's gonna be our foundation. Next, on the first clip, I select the roto brush and start cutting out the subject. Okay guys, so I already cut out our subject, and first thing we're gonna do is soften the edges. I'm gonna push the feather up to 9.9 and bring shift edge down to -61 just a bit. Let's also color label these two clips differently. Even though this all works as a single transition, we are gonna be handling each clip separately later on, so it just makes things way easier. I'm also gonna slow both clips down a little. For this transition, I highly recommend keeping each clip at least 35 to 40 frames long, otherwise the result just won't look as clean or as impactful. In general, this effect works with pretty much any footage. The main thing to avoid is super aggressive camera movement. Other than that, it's very flexible. Okay, let's add motion title to our background, set output was on high to 800 and make sure mirror edges is checked. Next, add optics compensation, set the field of view 109 and check the reverse lens distortion. Now we're adding turbulent displays. This is gonna be our main effect today. It creates this really nice organic distortion. Set amount to 348, size to 330 and evolution to 52 degrees. Let's animate it a bit, put the playhead at the very beginning and add a keyframes to amount, then move the playhead almost to the end, not the last frame but one frame before, and bring amount down to 65. And you can already see this really cool motion happening. My computer just can't fully preview it in real time. Next, let's add glow to the background, and don't forget to ease the animation from the previous effect. Just select the keyframes and hit F9. Here, let's set threshold at 44, radius at 152 and glow intensity left at 1. Then change color B to white and switch the glow to color channels. And this is what we get, already looking pretty clean and powerful. But let's add a bit of animation here as well. Set keyframes on glow threshold, radius and intensity at the beginning, then move the playhead all the way to the end and set all those values to 0. So the glow starts strong at the beginning of the transition and then it slowly fades out. Next, I want to increase the contrast between the transition and the second clip. To do that, I'm gonna use motion title, which we already added earlier, specifically the size parameter. So let's move the playhead to the very beginning of the transition and set a keyframe on size at 18. Then move the playhead to one frame before the end, just like we did before, and set size to 32. And to really push that contrast even more, I'm gonna slightly zoom in on the second clip. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. It's already looking pretty nice. But now let's work on our rotoscope layer. First, let's add optic compensation to it. set the field of view to 84 and check reverse land distortion. Next, let's add turbulent displacement, and here I want to create an animation that doesn't start right at the beginning and doesn't end exactly at the end, the way the eye has enough time to lock onto the main subject. So let's set amount to 4217, size to 236 and complexity to 6.4. And now move the playhead not all the way to the end, but somewhere around here. Yeah, just enough so we can see what's happening in the next frame. Let's add here a keyframes, and then move the playhead to the very beginning, just a couple of frames before the start, and set amount to 0, size to 2 and complexity to 1. And this is what we end up with. That looks so cool. And let's select our keyframes and hit F9. And let's graph it. I want the pieces to spread out a bit more smoothly, and I also want them to break off less often at the end, so the motion feels softer and more continuous. Let's fine-tune that. And just a quick note, feel free to experiment and tweak this however you like, whatever fits your own style and vision best. Personally, I'm already pretty close to what I'm aiming for. And yeah, it's looking really good, so we can definitely keep building on this. And now let's enhance the effect a bit by adding a flash. For that, create an adjustment layer, count 3 frames forward and 3 frames back. Let's add expose effect to it. Set expose to 4.34, add a keyframe, and then set keyframes at both at the beginning and the end to 0. Select those keyframes and hit F9. And now just duplicate that adjustment layer with Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V and place the copy at the other end of the transition, so you end up with a flash at the beginning and at the end. Like this. Yeah, it's already looking pretty cool, but let's push it up a bit further by adding some shake. I want most of that shake to happen toward the end, so create another adjustment layer, same length as the flash, 6 frames, and add wiggle position effect. Set a keyframe in the middle and dial in a wiggle speed to 5 and wiggle amount to 166. Then set those values to 0 at the beginning and at the end. Select the keyframes and hit F9. And now place this layer under the flash. So here is how it's looking now. It looks really good, but you might notice a small issue on the second clip. You can see this little gap. To fix that, let's add a motion title to the second clip, increase output width and high, and make sure mirror edges is checked. And let's also add a motion blur. Alright guys, this is what we are getting, and honestly this effect is saucy. You could totally leave it as is and use it as a standalone effect. It already looks really solid, but I'm gonna take it one step further and add some text just like in my reference. So let's export this video. Alright, I've exported the clip and now I'm adding the final text. I've already posted a full tutorial on how to create this exact text effect on my Instagram. And just a quick note about my Instagram, that's where I regularly share some of the top most trending effects from music videos, commercial and reels. I also post quizzes, breakdowns and different materials for visual inspiration. So yeah, I would love to see you there and make sure to check it out. The link is in the description of this video. Okay guys, let's add our text into the effect. First, we need to find the exact moment where we want the text to appear. I really like this spot right here when all those particles are flying apart. So let's cut out a single frame using Ctrl+Shift+D, right click on it, choose time, freeze frame and stretch it out to about 20 frames. I want to create an animation where on this freeze frame the camera first pushes in toward the text and then pulls back out. So let's create a new camera, add null object, switch our layers to 3D and parent the camera to the null object. Now move the playhead to the beginning of the first frame and start animating. Set keyframes on position and scale, move the playhead forward and push the camera in. Somewhere around here looks good. Then move the playhead to the end of the first frame and copy the initial keyframes. Paste them there so the position stays locked. Do the same with the second keyframe. And this is what we end up with. And that's basically our final effect. The only thing you might want to do is fine-tune the keyframes for smoother motion. For that, just select them, hit F9 and adjust the graph. But honestly, this step is totally optional. And this is the result I end up with. Guys, I think we pulled off a really sick effect and we did it in just 10 minutes. I think that's an amazing result. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If this video was helpful, please support me with a like, a subscribe and a comment. It really helps me grow. And see you in the next tutorials.